Hi everyone and welcome to World of Slot Cars. This is a short video where I'm going to display or show the modular pit wall system I'm currently working on. I did this a long time ago and then I took a look at it and decided that some improvement was needed. For example, this is the first form of catch fence I made, and this is really great because it's easy to print. It can be printed without any support, so 3D print wise it's perfect. But personally, I don't think it looked very realistic, and I would like people to have some options when choosing this system. So I have been working a bit on creating, first of all, the possibility of exchanging the net in here with different kinds. And second of all, I wanted to change the top here, so I got something that looked a lot more realistic. And thirdly, I wanted this fence here, or this net, to be integrated to follow down a bit into the fence, the frame here. So like on this side it has a hole or gap inside, but on this one, as it was printed flat on the print bed, it's just placed out here and it doesn't look very well. And as you can see here behind me, I have been working a bit on this and actually made some progress. First of all, I have decided 5 different types of catch fence. We have this, the large one, that's basically the old one, but now it's possible to integrate into the frame. Then we have a finer grid here with vertical lines. We have a really fine diamond mesh here. We have a larger hole, still fine, and then we have the same type here, just a bit rougher. So the larger types of these, the ones that uses more wide lines, wider pieces of fence here, are great for scaling down to smaller slot car tracks, scale 1 to 33 and so on, while these ones fit perfectly for scale 1 to 32 or 1 to 24 track. So there are these options, and the frames themselves look like this now. They are easily printed, and so are these catch fence nets here. And it's basically made so you can glue this piece in here very easily. It just fits there, so it's nice and snug, just fits inside. You add some glue and it's in place, and it has a small gap to the front like in the real world and in the back here. So it looks really nice now. And just to take a look at how this actually looks placed on the pit wall, it will look something like this. This is the large 15 centimeter edition, and I have some 10 centimeter over here, but it looks really great. I like the look of this, and you can print it in a steel color like I've done here. It's some sort of silver PLA, so no painting necessary. You can just print it like this and use it. The top is made a bit differently now, because this is a 2-part version, and it's much more detailed. It's much more finer in detail than the original that was a bit rough, and this actually looks like a real catch fence where it will catch those parts from the cars. So this looks like wires, and this can be printed in one piece. You can print it without support, but I will recommend just a tiny bit of support. So printing it like this, flat on the print bed, this side down, and then just a tiny bit of support for this support beam up here. And when mounting or attaching these to the catch fence, it's pretty simple because it's the same system I've used always. You just take a couple of matchsticks like this, insert it into the holes down here in the 2 sides, and then you use a wire cutter to cut off a piece, and you'll have 2 pieces of wood sticking up here, and you can attach the fence like this, and it just fits nice and snug there. The top of the fence, it is of course, you can decide to use it or you can decide not to, but just with the other part it fits like this. And if you are sure of your layout, I would glue it in place afterwards. I've also added small holes here where you can use this match method. Put it in there, a bit of glue, and then attach it to the other modules of the track pieces here, because then it will be perfectly aligned against each other, which looks much better than they are wobbling around. I also decided to make another kind of top here. It is this one. It looks like this from the back and this from the front. you can run an LED strip here, attach it on top of your catch fence, and then you will have lights down on the track. Also, wires can be hidden along the complete edge here, and then you will just have to take a couple small wires and run through down behind one of these nets here. So this is going to look pretty good. I haven't tested it yet, but it should work, both one for the 10 centimeter and 15 centimeter version. So that's the new catch fence system. I also designed a couple of these. That was actually pretty easy. This is for the crew using those flags they signal the cars with. So if we attach this here, and attaching all of these pieces is done using clips like this, and they will just slide into place. Just move these models a bit like this and attach like that, and it looks pretty awesome. If we have a setup like this, it will look very much like a real race car track with a gap in between some of these fences. Usually we have a person that can stand here waving a sign to the cars with all of that information they need. Just very old school, but this gap is for doing that. And so these small pieces are just to add that capability, instead of just having the complete net by itself here. I am going to add some fire extinguishers, small details and so on that can be added on the back side of these. So we have these on the inside of the wall here, with the possibility of extinguishing fires, all kinds of detail that really makes the track come alive. And to continue that, we have this tower. The idea is here that the guy with the, or girl with the gold flag is going to wave it from up here. It's placed like this, and it's pretty easy to print. I'm not completely satisfied with this model yet, but it works. It looks really nice, and you just don't have to do that. It works really well. And of course, all of these parts will be glued in place if you're satisfied with how it came out. So, but can just be stuck here. So I'm going to do a couple of changes on this, and it also needs some artwork up here and down here just to make it look a bit better. So some advertisements and so on, but it works really well. I might end up doing a new version, but that's pretty easy because the pit wall down here has sort of like a mount for it. So as long as I make something similar to this, I can just create a new one and post an upgrade pack later. The pit wall itself, where all of the crew is sitting, and I designed all of these crew members we have right here. I've made 8 so far, and I'm going to make a couple more. I'm going to make one with that sign sticking between the net there, the fence, where he signals, or she signals the drivers. I'm probably also going to make more of these sets. This is a very generic set. It can be painted in almost any color to represent any team. So I'm very happy about how they turned out. They look great. They are going to be sitting inside some of these. And this is also a generic shape. So currently I have designed 2 types. I have this version and this version of the small pit wall box, and then I have the large box here for 6 pit wall crew members. As you can see, there are screens in here. I have made them as cutouts, so you can print them on a laser printer, print them and install them in here. It looks really nice. So I haven't finished these 2 here yet. You can see this is a separate piece. So this is the screens. You will install all of those cutouts in here, attach it up here, fit it in place and glue it in, and then you will attach all of the chairs that is needed for the crew sitting here. There are 2 types of chairs. I have made this simple one, the classic chair type, and then I have made sort of like a stool that's just a round plate. You can decide which ones you use yourself, and everything can be printed in the colors you like. So they'll be sitting in here, and it looks absolutely amazing. Another crew here, you can paint these up. I just printed them in a specific color. That also looks really great. There are room up here and up here for installing LED lights, so you'll have lights from these, but then you'll have to drill a small hole in the box itself and down through the base, but that shouldn't be any problem. I might consider doing something about that later and preparing the set for it, but as it goes right now, it's no problem if you have a bit of hobby skills. And as you can see, the crew members here fit very nicely together with this. Everything has been thought of regarding scale, and I think it turned out great. So everything's just perfect. So I can place 4 stools in here and take 4 of these members here, or I can just use the large one. So, and that was basically the Pitwall boxes here. I have a couple of types. I'm going to release more later, but so far I'm very happy with them. So I'm just going to assemble this and show you how most of it will look when it's finished. Just disregard this part. We're not going to be using that. All of these fences here in the front are also 3D printed separately, and the idea behind this is that once again you can print it in another color, so you can skip the paint bar. You can just print this in the colors you like. So let's just make a small pit wall here with a couple of these pit wall boxes for the crew here. Simple clip in here, just fits nice and snugly inside, and then it should do the same on the corresponding side like that. And then of course I'll just need another catch fence on top there. You can just take this, steal this from the other one, so you can see how it will look when it's completed like that. Make sure that everything's in place. I would recommend gluing it in the long run, but right now it's just okay like that. And then the finishing part, this one is going to go here in the end. Just need another clip for that. Like that. And then install it like that in here without knocking over any crew members. So basically it's going to look like this from one side and this from another side. And I think this turned out really great. It's beginning to look so realistic. Next up, I am going to be working more on probably making more pit boxes, but I am probably also going to make some sort of small podium, maybe an observation post up here. I'm going to make some lights that signals that you are getting into the pit lane, and so on. All kinds of detail will be next up. But basically, this is the modular set of my pit wall so far. If you have any ideas or suggestions to what I could add to this, don't hesitate to just write it down in the comments below. I'd be really happy to hear what you have to say. So I think this is a great improvement, and I'm going to release the new fence types here this month, and next month on the Patreon I'm going to be working on adding lots of details to this, and then I'm also going to be working again on the pit lane itself and the buildings, pit garages and so on. So we will end up having an amazing looking pit wall, pit section. So hope you like it, and thank you all for watching.